Hello, and welcome to No Format. I'm your host, Aaron, and today I'll be talking to James Woodard of the Grasshopper Lies Heavy about their latest album. But before I get into that, I'd like to let you all know that we'll also be giving away a tape bundle from Knife Hits Records, featuring releases from Fight Amputation, Low Dose, and Multicult. Stick around until the end for details on how to win. I'd like to thank you all for joining me today. So everybody, welcome to No Format. We are live here in the studio from my bunker in the far north with James of the Grasshopper Lies Heavy.
Hey, everybody.
James?
Yes.
Have you ever smoked DMT?
I have not done DMT. No, not yet. I mean, there's still time.
There we go.
Yeah.
Got to get that question out of the way because, I've been going around telling everybody I'm the Joe Rogan of noise rock.
Oh,
I gotta follow through on that one.
I have done float tank a couple times though, and it was super chill.
I don't even know what that is.
It's the sensory deprivation tank. Joe Rogan talks all about it. So, yeah, you.
I thought it was some kind of like new designer drug.
No.
Hey guys, you ever smoke float tank?
Well, you get in like this pod. And it's filled with like highly salinated water. So you float on top of it. And you just like sit in the darkness. And you could either listen to like ambient music or like a meditative guide recording. Or you can just sit in like total darkness and quiet. And you just like chill there for an hour. And it's a super chill experience. I recommend it.
But they won't let you listen to like whatever you want. It has to be
I'm sure if you had like ear pods, you could listen to, your favorite grindcore band while trying to like have an out-of-body experience.
Did that happen to you at all during that time?
No, but maybe like 40 minutes into the hour, you're the rods in your eyes try to like make sense of all the blackness. So you kind of like start seeing things like a little bit of a natural hallucination. Nothing like tripping balls on acid or anything, but Still a fun little experience.
Absolutely. I'm getting a panic attack just thinking about it.
Yeah.
So I actually I wanted you on because we've got new record coming out right away, right around the corner.
Yeah, I hope so.
If
Well,
if the
with all these
hasn't
pressing
pushed back.
plant woes. Yeah, Jesus, that's got me worried.
I don't know. I think you guys are on a label that has some pull.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
I
learning
think,
curve.
Yeah, learning curve. And from what I've heard, it's going to be pretty solid. So it'd be a shame if it happened. But no, I think learning curve does enough pressings where they can be like, all right, guys, we need this done.
Yeah, I hope so. I mean, the past year and a half has just been an absolute shit show for everyone. So if a record gets delayed at this point, I'm just like, whatever. Like, why get mad about that? My country is falling apart.
But at least you can laugh about it, right?
Yeah, now. But I'm pretty sure all my neighbors have guns, and they know that I'm a commie.
Just tell them you're one of the good ones.
Oh, Christ. Yeah.
Be like, it's deep cover, guys. I'm working to infiltrate Antifa.
Yeah.
Oh, okay then.
Yeah, my neighbor across the street, he used to be a big San Antonio Spurs fan, but he spray painted over the Spurs logo with a Trump logo on his curb where his address is, because the coach of the Spurs is like outspokenly anti-Trump. Mm-hmm. I guess that triggered him. So
that's terrible.
Yeah, I'm real paranoid about my neighbors now. In post-Trump's America. I wrote a song about it. It's terrifying.
Is that going to be on the new album?
Actually, we're working on a split with another band, maybe to come out the end of this year, maybe to come out a little after that. Yeah, but that'll be on the new stuff.
Is that one? Are you going to expect some pressing plant issues for that one?
I don't know what to expect anymore. Like, I think it's because like Walmart carries vinyl now, mm-hmm. and they have to like get all these like Miley Cyrus records pressed or something. I don't know.
It's true.
I miss when it was a niche thing.
Yeah, you're gonna have to start like pushing cassettes more now.
Love tapes. I love CDs, man. I've got like an old school like 90s dad stereo in my living room. Oh, like everyone should have, like the tower speakers and the Yamaha receiver. And yeah, I got a CD player from Goodwill maybe like a year or two ago.
Oh, nice.
Just going through all my old CDs, from a teenager. I'm 37 now, so I've had I've carried around my CD collection for everywhere I've moved, and
yeah, it's
been a joy going through my old CD collection and like not having to get up every 15 minutes to flip the LP. It's tight, man.
Yeah.
Then I don't have to like clean the LP and like get all the dust off or whatever. Just throw on the CD and it fucking works. It's great.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah.
I'm very into owning CDs because they're a lot cheaper than records as well.
True. Yeah.
It's especially up here. It's like a $7 difference at least.
Wow. And the technology. It's like you're reading this with a fucking laser, dude. Like, come on.
You're in the future.
So cool. Yeah. Get with it, dude. Get with this 20th century technology. Absolutely. Buy a fucking CD player from Goodwill.
But I feel like in a way, vinyl it's just got like that niche appeal because the art's so big and it feels more substantial than a CD. Totally.
Yeah.
Even though
I love, I've had this kind of like discussion with other people, but mm-hmm. It's hard to find time to become an active listener of music, especially in our lives now. Like a lot of times the only times people listen to music are, in their commute or when they're working at their desk with their headphones on or whatever. Mm-hmm. But people don't spend like leisure time like actively listening to music and having the turntable and having, the record with the big artwork and liner notes. it puts you in a different headspace and you become like an active listener, and that's something I've always appreciated, and that's why I have a 90s dad stereo in my living room.
Yeah, it's so, like, going back to that, is there any stuff that you've, I guess, kind of rediscovered, and
Oh yeah,
stuff where you're just like, oh, why was I into this?
well, I went through stages in my 20s where I purged all the stuff that I didn't think was cool anymore.
Yeah.
Like a lot of my metal CDs and stuff, and I actually like deeply regret getting rid of a lot of those, because I was a heavy metal dumbass in my teens, and then I went to college, so I started listening to like indie rock and different experimental stuff, like Einstürzen and Neubauten and Swans and things like that. So I kind of like shunned the metal and got rid of it. But now in my 30s, I like don't give a fuck anymore, and I just like I'm back to loving metal. Like love Napalm Death. Love a lot of death metal and black metal, and yeah, I got rid of a ton of those CDs, and I super regret it now.
That's too bad. Maybe we can arrange some way for the next tour that you guys do. People will come out with their metal CDs. Just leave a donation on the table.
I want all my typo negative CDs back. Yeah, typo was like a guilty pleasure for me for a decade, and like now it's just a pleasure. I love typo negative.
Even the last one they did?
No. We don't talk about the last couple. They had that run. Bloody Kisses was dope. October Rust was dope. But yeah.
I always thought the production on those records was really unique.
Yeah, very tinny.
Yeah.
And trebly.
I don't know what was with the guitar tone on it.
Well, so I saw a picture of Peter Steele's gear, and he's just running his bass through like a DS1 and a Boss Chorus, and all the knobs are like hot glued in place. It's great. And I found out the drummer had red light fever. Like he played like shit on recordings. So on those two records, they're two like biggest records. It's a drum machine, and I never knew that as a kid. Yeah.
Yeah. If you produce a drum machine right, you can get some amazing sounds. Like Agoraphobic Nosebleed. That's one band that does it phenomenally well.
Well, yeah. Well, it sounds like garbage, but it sounds like great garbage.
Yeah.
I mean, that's how I started this band. Like, it was awful, but the first few gigs I did, it was with a drum machine.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I was kind of like a introvert. Well, I'm still an introvert, but in college, I didn't like know anybody in the scene. So I kind of like actually recorded our first demo or two just at home with fake drums. And I, spread that around and met people to play music with. But yeah, the first couple gigs were weird. I actually, I played the drum tracks off of an iPod and played straight into the PA. Back when iPods were cool.
They still are cool. They're gonna make a comeback.
Sure, yeah. After CDs make a comeback.
Yeah. Well, we're now at a cassette resurgence. Just give it a couple more years, and we're gonna have that CDR resurgence.
Yeah.
And then that's when it's time to strike.
I want a flip phone resurgence, man. T9, I could type fast in T9. Didn't even have to look at the screen.
Damn. My ex actually was like, she said she was gonna be off Twitter. She took time off Twitter. She had a hiatus from Twitter, so she got like one of those Nokia phones.
The brick?
Yeah, but it was like they made a new version of it.
Oh,
one that you can actually fit a SIM card into, and she has it still around somewhere, but she doesn't use it because she likes taking pictures too much.
Yeah, I feel like I would be like the target market for that.
Well, they
take away all the utility out of a smartphone.
In some ways, it is a good idea because I think social media is a little too accessible in some regards.
Yeah, well, we all know social media is a societal cancer, but I think people are slowly learning how to actually use social media. Like, people aren't just like overtly arguing with each other. like on my Facebook posts anymore, like they used to a couple years ago. People just tend to shut the fuck up now if they don't agree, or at least I've deleted all the people that argue. But yeah,
I think part of it has to do with how Facebook is just like anything that you report now, oh, you get like a 7-day ban.
Yeah. Well, you know, I get banned for saying commie shit. I'll get, you know, go to Facebook jail for a week for like saying some commie shit, but then like I'll read like comments that are like straight up like ethno-nationalism, and I'll report them and nothing happens.
Oh, yeah.
It's weird. It's a weird people. There's no like social code of conduct where like if you're in front of somebody and they say that, you can punch them in the mouth, but you can't do that on Facebook, you know?
No. It'd be great if you could.
Yeah. You get a lot of broken mouths all over the world. Well, there needs to be some kind of like social responsibility, you know?
Well, I mean, it's really hard though, because, you know, you have that barrier of anonymity in a way.
Yeah. And I don't know. So many like boomer uncles, like what the fuck are they doing on Facebook, man?
Oh yeah, that's true. It's like complaining about everybody being on their phones too much. Meanwhile, they're just spending all week long just arguing with people.
Yeah, or like recording themselves in their truck, like reciting their manifesto.
All right, folks. Today we're going to talk about flat Earth.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, flat Earth seems so cute now after January 6th, you know?
Yeah.
But here in America, it's I don't know what it's like up there, but I don't know. I don't trust my neighbors, as we've already gone over. But shit's weird, man. Especially, you know, I'm in Texas. I'm in South Texas. Mm. I mean, even the liberal cities are like staunchly against things like, you know, like reallocating police funds and stuff.
Yeah.
Like my city, it's a liberal city. We have a liberal quote unquote mayor, but we have the highest rehiring rate of bad cops. There was this cop that fed a homeless dude a shit sandwich and he got his job back.
Oh my God.
It's crazy stuff, man. So yeah, I live in kind of a bizarre world.
Well, I heard about this cop from Ottawa. I don't live in Ottawa, but this is a news story that was going around about this cop who's like a landlord. So, you know, he's quality people right there.
Yeah, double whammy.
And he was like, he was threatening to abduct his leaseholder, or like the person who was renting from him. He was telling this dude he's going to take his daughter and sell her.
Jesus fucking Christ.
So,
yeah, good cop, you know, real good guy.
He didn't lose his job. That's
for
sure.
He had a bad day.
He had a bad day.
Everybody has a bad day, you know. Give him a break. Just trying to sell somebody's kid, big deal.
You know,
we call that Tuesday. My job.
Those stories are pretty common, regardless of like where you are in the world. I think.
Sure.
You know, where there's a lot of like unrestricted power for the police.
Yeah,
you'll get that sort of thing happening.
I just can't get into that headspace of like, why would anyone ever want to be a cop? So I don't know. I'm not the right person to ask.
That's a good
point. I may be a little biased.
It's very true. Speaking of cops, so the new album.
Oh yeah.
Sounding very exciting so far, and it's actually sounding pretty heavy, pretty metal.
Yeah, it's kind of, you know, so going back to being an active music listener, like I love bands like Pink Floyd, right?
Yeah.
Where like my favorite Pink Floyd record is Metal. And, you know, side A is the poppier side and side B is just one long song. It's like a trip. And, you know, I love having like the album experience when I put albums together. So yeah, this record's A side is like super heavy. And then the B side's like more introspective. We have one song that's like 8 or 9 minutes long. And we have another song that's pretty clean. It's more of like a post-rock song on the B side. So yeah, I try to kind of do that sort of thing with it. I think it came out pretty decent, I think. But
Has
I
a
don't
nice
know.
flow to it.
Yeah, well, at least I think so. With the flip in the middle of the record.
Yeah.
I don't know how it's going to be on CD. Maybe I'll have to change the track listing or something. We actually don't have a CD planned for it. Maybe in a couple months. We're really trying to push the vinyl first because it's so expensive.
Oh, yeah.
We want the label to make their money back before we look into tapes or CDs.
Yeah, it's crazy expensive. Did you have any issues with regards to getting it pressed?
No, but with this record, it's kind of all up to the label. I've self-pressed vinyl before.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, this one I'm kind of like, here's our master. You do the thing. And usually I'll talk to Reiner. Reiner is the owner of the label. I'll talk to him 3 or 4 times, and we'll get a bunch of boxes of records to sell. With the way the pressing plants are now, I'm a little concerned, but we'll see.
Yeah. I mean, if they haven't told you that your order is like backed up, because it's just right around the corner, isn't it? We got it coming out in a couple
July
months.
16th.
July 16th.
So, yeah.
Yeah. So, like, unless you've gotten word that your order's suddenly being pushed back, I don't think you're gonna have too much of an issue.
Yeah. Knock on wood. Yeah, but we're gonna do a album release show here with a great band called Pinko.
Mm-hmm. Phenomenal band.
Yeah, they're on Hex Records, which is a great record label, and we're trying to organize some regional stuff right now. I don't think we're gonna do a national tour this year, just because of all the weirdness.
Oh yeah.
I think we're gonna let the dust settle and maybe tour next year, but. We're gonna go up to Austin and play with this band Exhalants, also on Hex Records, great friends of ours. And then I think we're gonna go to Dallas and play No Coast Fest, which is it's a fest put together by Jeff from the band Hories, great noise rock band, and he's been doing it the past couple of years, and he's just inviting noise rock bands from all over the country down to Arlington, Texas, to play at a really cool venue there. And this would be our second time playing No Coast. We did one right before our Japanese tour in 2019. 20,000. Yeah, right before our Japanese tour in 10,000 years into the future. Fall is looking cool. Hopefully people will get fucking vaccinated.
Yeah. Well, I mean, in the States, it's I think it's slowing down a little bit, but the vaccination rates are pretty solid there for the most part.
Yeah.
It's not like how it is up here, which unfortunately it is what it is.
Yeah. I expect probably 1/3 of Texans to choose not to get vaccinated just because I have no faith in Texans.
But you know what? It's better that you set your expectations low and
Yeah.
have them exceeded.
Yeah. I was like, sign me up. Fucking inject that shit into my body. I don't even care what it is.
Do you know which one you got? Was it the Moderna vaccine?
I got the Pfizer, I think. Pfizer gang.
Ooh, Pfizer.
I feel like it's like Pokemon gyms. Like, which one did you get, dude?
Which team are you on, folks?
Yeah. So, Team Pfizer. I can't wait for the biomutations.
Yeah, it's going to be crazy, folks.
I'm just hoping it'll make me better at guitar.
Yeah, once they activate 5G in your body.
Oh yeah, it's just like Bluetooth out of my body. That'd be tight.
So, what was the whole writing and recording process like for the new record?
It's fucking weird, man. I mean, we started recording this record in the middle of last summer, like during the lockdown. So. I basically had my drummer, Steven, come over for several sessions, and we recorded the whole thing in my garage. I had just bought a house, like, right before COVID started.
Oh, okay.
So we built out a room in the garage. It's not like an amazing studio or anything. It's basically like a jam room for us to play in.
Yeah.
But it sounds okay when it hits the mics. So we set up drum mics, and we did a couple sessions. And then once that was out of the way, I kind of just like nerded out and obsessed over doing all the guitar tracks over like 3 or 4 weeks. Recorded all the guitar and bass, and vocals myself. And yeah, it was a super isolated experience. And I tracked everything at home, and then I sent everything to my friend Ollie in Minneapolis. Ollie is an incredibly talented studio engineer, and he's in the band Another Heaven, which is a great band. Like, they call themselves sludge gaze. Super heavy, like shoegaze, but with like super heavy guitars, and he can sing like an angel. It's incredible music. Another Heaven. But yeah, so I would send him tracks to mix, and then we would do a back and forth over Facebook and talk about it. And yeah, that's how we made the record. It was a weird experience. It kind of reminded me back being in college, like doing like all the music myself when I was a kid. Kind of sucked because there's no like band dynamic. You know, you can't ask the bass player, ask the drummer what they think, you know. But I don't know, we got it done, and it sounds cool. A lot of the songs were written right before our Japan tour, and we kind of like demoed them out on playing those dates in Japan. So we kind of like figured out what worked and what didn't in front of audiences, which is cool. Because a lot of times when you record, it's like new stuff, and you haven't really like worked the songs out in front of people, you know? Absolutely. So it was pretty valuable doing that, I think. So I don't know. That does make the songs like 2+ years old at this point. But I mean, I hate recording a song and then like a month later we kind of like change a little part because it sounds cooler, you know?
Yeah. So it sounds like you had everything like locked in stone kind of with regards to the... Yeah. And which is like a weird contrast because those songs were locked in stone, but we recorded them separately. But that's a contrast of like afterwards, I was still like writing new stuff, like before this album release window. Yeah, I'm writing new stuff, but I'm all writing stuff by myself because we're still in lockdown. So like the next 4 songs was just me with the fake drums again, you know, easy drummer. And I basically wrote them all in the computer and easy drummered them out. And I would send Steven, my drummer, the MP3s. And that's kind of how we wrote the next batch. So that's weird. That's weird as fuck. So we're finally back together practicing again as a band. And now we're playing those new songs. And I'm sure we're going to change them now. Yeah. We'll see. Do you think you writing this stuff on your own, do you think that kind of changed the dynamic of what you were, you know, writing?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, because the way I think of percussion is very like caveman. Like I don't have a drummer's mind. So if I like show my drummer a riff, he'll come up with like a completely different rhythm than what I have in my head. But like me, when I'm like writing it in easy drummer, you know, it's just so caveman. So yeah, these next ones are going to be kind of like real like big forehead caveman shit. But it's still going to be Grasshopper though. Yeah.
Well, that's good. Yeah. I mean, I think caveman shit is it's making a comeback, to be honest with you.
Dude, it's all about the first 5 frets, man. because it was just me, like unimpeded, being a nerd, introvert by myself. The ideas just like dropped out really fast, and I think it makes them like catchier and chonkier and dumber. But a lot of times, like I feel like the dumbest shit we write is like what people like the most because they can just like bang their head at the bar. You know what I mean?
When did you guys drop that that new video? I was getting pretty stupid.
Yeah.
I was getting pretty stupid to that, I'll be honest.
Yeah, that one. The videos, yeah, that's all footage from the Japan tour, which is cool. We had our photographer friend Oscar come with us, and he like videoed the whole. I think we were there for like 11 days, but we did 8 gigs. Mm-hmm. So yeah, it was cool having him along, and he did the video for everything and captured a lot of cool moments. One of the worst things about going on tour is like having like nobody recording any of the gigs. So I think we're gonna bring a photo person on like every tour from now on.
Yeah. Speaking of Japan, it's kind of an odd place to go touring for a noise rock band. Usually, in my experience, you see a lot of those noise rock bands head over to the UK, where a lot of that stuff is already kind of established. So how did the Japan tour, how did that come about?
Sure. Well, our drummer, Steven, his old band went over there. He was in a post-rock band called Bright Like the Sun. Mm-hmm. And they had a blast. So, yeah, we decided, like, fucking why not? So we knew a guy over there, tour manager. He hooked us up with some dates. And, yeah, we went over there and had a lot of fun. I mean, it wasn't like a U.S. tour where, like, we made a bunch of money. Like, we lost our asses on this Japan tour. But it was great because we met ton of cool bands, and we made a bunch of connections that I think will last a long time. And I actually look forward to hosting a couple of these Japanese bands that we met and having them tour the U.S. with us, or at least helping them book a U.S. tour. Yeah. Because I would love to make more international connections like that. So many talented musicians over there. It's just incredible. And it's a lot less bro-centric over there. There are much more like women musicians, female sound engineers. Like every live house we played, there was at least 1 or 2 woman sound engineers. Really cool, super professional. Every venue is incredibly professional. I think America can learn a lot from the way Japanese people throw shows. It was shocking how cool it was. Just to give examples, like you show up at the venue at 3 or 4 p.m. To sound check. Everybody has like a 15-minute sound check. They give you this like worksheet to fill out. You write down all the songs and how long they are and what lighting you want on them, and like a description. This song is loud. This is the ballad or whatever. Because they have like the main sound guy, the front of house, and then a light person at every show.
Oh my God.
So every band has 15-minute sound check. The venues have all the back lines. All the amps are there. And it's all great shit. Marshalls, Fenders, Ampegs, great stuff. After all the sound checks at like 5 or 6, all the bands get together in a circle and everybody introduces themselves. And like the manager of the live house like introduces everybody. Like, hey, this is this band from Texas. Yoroshiku onegaishimasu, blah, blah, blah. Really cool, like great sense of community. And the shows start at a decent time. They're usually done by 10 or 11 because everybody has to get on the trains to get home. And the shows are like $20 for only local bands. They usually have like an after hours party for all the bands, just so everybody can get to know each other. Like again, like that sense of community that we don't have in the States. Yeah, it's incredible, man. It's super professional, like beginning to end. Great backlines, great sound. It's a great sense of community. I love it. I can't wait to go back, honestly, even if we lose our asses on another tour.
So were you just playing like just small shitty venues, or like were these like what kind of capacity were we looking at for those sorts of places?
Yeah, so small venues over there are called live houses, but they're not really houses. It'll be like So we played a place in Shinjuku, which is basically like Times Square.
Yeah.
But you like take a left at this alley and there's like stairs that go up and down. I went downstairs and there's a basement with 2 bars. And one's like a jazz bar and one is this metal bar. And you open the door to the metal bar and it's like a huge, heavy door that seals. So once you open that door and go in and close the door, it's loud as fuck in there. But you can't hear anything outside that door. You can't hear the metal in the jazz bar. So yeah, they're like small venues. Everything's small in Japan. You feel like, you know, a sardine a lot of times, especially if you're from Texas and you're used to ample parking. Mm-hmm. But yeah, you know, small venues, but great sound. We didn't play one shithole. I wouldn't call any of them shitholes. Like some of them had, you know, scary dive bathrooms or anything, but it's nothing like Louisville, Kentucky or anything. Shout out Louisville.
Like, what was the merch selling vibe like over there?
Oh yeah, don't bring vinyl to Japan. we shipped a bunch of vinyl to Japan and we were like lugging it around the whole time because nobody wanted it. We gifted it to a lot of people, like the managers of venues or other bands we played with that we loved. But yeah, they buy CDs and they buy shirts.
That's crazy.
So we did a tour exclusive CD there, and then we did some Japan like bootleg Neon Genesis Evangelion Grasshopper merch. And people love that shit. They were like, oh shit, Evangelion. So yeah, that was dope.
Is there any, well, you said there's no parking. Like, how did you guys get around when you were there?
Oh, the public transportation system is incredible. You take the trains everywhere. So we took our guitars in like gig bags. We flew with them in flight cases, but we like at our tour manager's house, we just left our cases, brought our guitars in gig bags. And our drummer like brought a snare in a suitcase. So you just take the train everywhere, dude. It's incredible. You can go across the country in just the train.
That's phenomenal. So
their trains, you never have to walk more than 15 minutes from the closest train station.
So you weren't even like bringing your amps over there. That was not even necessary.
Yeah, because every venue had a great back line. You know, I was playing through 2 Marshall half stacks every night, and that was like never a problem.
That's phenomenal. Is there anything else that you wish you would have known about before you went over to Japan?
I wish I knew a little more Japanese, just so I can make more connections with people. That's the biggest thing. I mean, since we did that tour, I went back to Japan on vacation because I fucking love the place. It's an incredible place. It's like walking like 50 years into the future. Like, just absolutely phenomenal. Tokyo is just an incredible city. But yeah, I wish I knew a little more of the language just so I can communicate with other bands and things like that. A lot of people were bilingual, so we made some great connections. My friend Takeshi, he's in a band called Lightning Swells Forever. They're from Kobe.
That's such an awesome name.
Yeah, Lightning Swells Forever. They're a great band. They're a killer like stoner rock, but not like boring like long-haired stoner rock where it's like one note a minute. But it's like great like Aussie worship kind of shit. We want to bring those guys over here, and there are a couple other bands that we've been talking to also. There's one from Kyoto. There's a great live house in Kyoto called Gattaca. And the manager of the place, he's in an emo band called Nim. And they're just phenomenal. Like Victory Records, phenomenal emo stuff. And they've hit me up about coming over here too. So I would love to have those folks over here.
Yeah, because I think that's the one thing that you really get the sense of out of the Japanese music I've heard is that even like the independent music, they take it very seriously.
Yeah.
Like in terms of their production and their writing and all that sort of thing. It's on a completely different level than we have.
Dude, not one shitty drummer. No shitty drummers. Even the opening bands, everybody had a phenomenal drummer. I think they all learned how to like do it in high school because there are like so many clubs in Japanese high school.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, every drummer's a fucking shredder. It's phenomenal. A lot of great female drummers. Like I loved seeing like how diverse the scene was over there. It's just not a bunch of like sweaty aggro dudes, you know. I loved it.
So like you could just go down the street and catch just a random show, and it's just like grindcore and indie rock and hyper pop. Is that what we're
Yeah,
talking about?
we played with a couple bands that are definitely on like the pop scale. Math rock is huge over there. So they're bands like Paranoid Void, all female Japanese math rock band, and bands like Toe, which is like a huge Japanese math rock band. Math rock's huge over there, but they lean on the poppier side. A lot of those bands can sound like anime theme songs. But then we would play some like fucked up places. Like we would play in like Tachikawa, super professional venue, and there are bands there that sound like Lightning Bolt. And I'm like, man, you guys sound like Lightning Bolt. And they're like, Lightning Bolt? Yeah. Yeah. So like there's definitely weird shit over there. But yeah, then we would play and like the opening band would be like these 19-year-old pretty boys making like real pretty rock.
Japan is kind of weird in terms of their scene, in that they're pretty accepting of a lot of different stuff. How did you find the response to you guys when you went over there?
It depended on the place we played. But Japanese fans, a lot of times are really reserved, and they're not the kind of like I don't want to like make blanket statements about cultures, but in the States you'll sit at the merch table and people will just come up and talk to you and start conversations and stuff.
Yeah.
In Japan, it's not like that. I really had to like make it a point to like make eye contact and smile at people and like be really outgoing and friendly, because I think they just think like they're a burden to you or something. I don't know. So yeah, but yeah, like we met a lot of great people, and some of our conversations were stinted because we were using Google Translate back and forth and things like that. But yeah. There's especially between musicians, there was a lot of like mutual like respect and like instant friendships and things like that.
And that'll be great for the next time that you guys wind up touring over there.
Absolutely, yeah.
People are going to ask about this. Speaking of touring, do we have any touring plans anytime soon?
Probably not in 2021. I mean, waiting for the dust to settle. Bigger bands like Metal Blade bands are going to be doing tours this year. We've done a lot of tours throughout the years in the States, and I am concerned about our network. I don't know which venues have shut down in which cities, but we'll cross that bridge next year. I think next year is a much safer bet for touring.
Oh, absolutely.
But yeah, I can't wait to have that sweaty electric fun with all my bros again.
Let's talk equipment for a moment.
Oh yeah.
Equipment. So, do you have a favorite guitar pedal?
Yeah. So I play through two Marshall heads, a 75 Super Lead and a 78 JMP, and I really like just letting the amps do the work, But as a main drive preamp, I have the Exotic Effects BB preamp, and I was kind of like back and forth about that and like a Keeley Katana for like the natural overdrive, but the BB does it for me. I just have everything dimed out on it, and it sounds sick as fuck. And that's like my main sound is the two Marshalls in that BB. Yeah, I would be fucked if I like lost that on tour for sure.
Furry for Sonas.
Personas.
Personas.
Oh man.
If you guys were going to go out on stage dressed up in your personas, what would we be expecting to see you dressed up as?
I don't know, something like fat and cute, like a bear, or a like one of those like the fat raccoons that are like too fat to get out of the dumpster because they ate all the dumpster garbage overnight. So like the janitor in the morning has to like help the fat raccoon out of the dumpster.
Do we have anyone in the band who'd be a wolf?
No. We don't have that vibe, dude. We're just like dudes. None of us like I yell in the lyrics, but we're actually just like pretty laid back dudes.
No. I see it happening right now. People are just sitting down to plan out like huge festivals and planning out like these massive tour packages right now, because it's like everybody wants to get out right now, get it out of the way. And it's just like nobody's planning for the fact that that sort of touring schedule life that we had before, that's probably going to have to be pushed back for all the independent bands for the foreseeable future. Yeah, I'm afraid we're going to lose our ass on the next US tour we do. But, I mean, usually we do pretty well. Like, we'll come back with money. Like, I haven't lost my ass on a domestic tour since I was a kid. But, yeah, I mean, that's a concern. Like, having days off on tour is a money pit. And if the DIY venue network in America is just kind of like limping right now, it's not a great idea for bands to go out. You know, push your socials right now. You know. Yeah, absolutely.
This release is actually the first time that we've looked for external help for like PR and marketing and things like that. Previously on all our old records, I've done it all myself. You know. I think the label has their own kind of homegrown, PR list. At least, blast people out for reviews or anything. But yeah, we're actually working with like Earsplit PR this time to actually like get more people to like. I just need like our music in more ears. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
I feel like we've been doing the DIY thing for so long that we've hit this kind of like DIY plateau. And not that I think we're like rock stars or anything. I think we're a pretty niche band, but it would be nice to at least get into that next tier where tastemakers have heard us, you know. Maybe we get asked to do a cool festival here and there, you know. I have no delusions of grandeur about this band, but it would be cool to do cool things like that, you know.
You haven't had any like sizable labels come and approach you and be like, "Oh, I love this album."
No relapse yet. Email me, guys. Come on.
Yeah, we'll be sending this one direct to Relapse once it goes live.
Metal Blade, what's up? My good friends in Capra, they're from Lafayette, Louisiana. They recently got signed to Metal Blade.
Oh, that's phenomenal.
And they went from, they just blew up. Their socials are just on fire right now. It's so great to see them. And they're just a fantastic band. We did a collaboration with their singer, Crow. She sang on our cover of the Jesus Lizard's Mouth Breather.
Oh, yeah. I heard about that, actually. I didn't get a chance to listen to it, but...
yeah. They came out like right before their album came out, and just immediately, Metal Blade put the record out. All their fucking vinyls like sold out within 2 weeks. Cool, great stuff. Great success story. Yeah. Hit us up, Metal Blade.
Honestly, I think now more than ever, all those traditional kind of labels they're opening up a little bit to the sort of stuff that you guys, not just you guys, but stuff in this sort of scene it's getting picked up, and in a way, I think Met's kind of kicked the door open for that. I think. Yeah,
Met's. I mean. Mets' popularity is kind of phenomenal. I would say like Mets and like Idols even.
Oh yeah.
Like I never would have expected a band like Idols to just explode in popularity like that. I mean, more power to them, but
it's insane.
Yeah, but you know, Mets did their tour of like Southeast Asia. They're playing places like Thailand and shit.
Holy shit.
Like, that's so fucking cool. That's like dream tour stuff for me, really. Yeah, love it.
Well, you just have to lower your standards where you sleep. Just find a couple couches to bunk up on.
Hell yeah. Yeah.
I mean, actually getting there is the issue. It's not actually, I don't think staying there is the issue. It's getting there. That's so expensive.
Yeah. And fuck, international tours, like, who knows when that's going to open back up.
God.
I mean, every time we played with a European band here in the States, they're like, y'all need to go to fucking Europe. So, like, I mean, that was our plan for, like, you know, we were going to do Japan 2019, Europe 2020. Mm-hmm. That didn't happen, but definitely needs to happen.
Yeah, we'll get you on a tour package with Idols.
Yeah. I'll let them open for us. No big deal. You know?
get that set up.
Yeah.
I'll start harassing the singer on Facebook, even though.
He seems like such a mild-mannered dude, you know?
Yeah, a little bit. He seems like an alright guy. Although
Yeah.
I probably shouldn't say that. People are going to tune in. They're going to say, "Oh, Aaron loves idols." I'll be like, listen, you guys.
He just has such an intense persona, you know, that gaze.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. He's like a dad. Like, what's he gonna do? Like dad's drunk again. What's he gonna do? I'm gonna go hide in my room. Yeah.
That comes with years of just like crafting that persona, I think. Not that I think it's totally bullshit or anything like that, but it's like, you know, you want to give off an air of confidence. You just like look dead-eyed and just.
Well, you see the dude, and like you just immediately know like he's seen some shit, you know.
Oh yeah.
Which I respect. You know, I don't want to see a bunch of fresh faces on the stage playing that shit. You know what I mean? I want to see some grizzled motherfuckers playing it. You know.
Some dudes who are at best a 6 out of 10.
Yeah, that's my problem with that. Have you heard that band Black Midi?
Yeah.
They're very divisive. It's either a love it or hate it band.
Totally.
Personally, I hate them. But they're children. Like, don't play music like that. You're a child. Like, hit rock bottom and then play that shit. That's what I want to hear.
I gotta give it to Black Midi though. They're kind of like, even though I also kind of hate them. I respect the fact that they're playing, let's say, difficult guitar music, because that's not something that I would have sat back and like 3 years ago and said, "Oh, this is what everyone's going to be like into."
Oh, they're better than me. Like, there's no question they're better musicians than I am. But why? You know?
It's because they went to art school. Art school kids.
Yeah. I did too. It was a community college, though.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah. I had to go to work afterwards. What's the difference?
Like, I learned pain. I work customer service, you fucks.
Yeah. Dude, finally crawled out of that. It's great, man.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Not having to talk to customers anymore. It's like a revelatory experience. Like, I feel like it's like the next like step in the ladder of life, you know? Like, I bought a house. I don't have to talk to customers anymore. Like, I've made it. Like, that's my American dream. Well, I'm a software developer now, so I just feel the pressure of being a failure every day. I just wake up and like, what does all this mean? Just think every day of my life.
To be fair, though, if you're working on a team, you're failing together. If I can get personal, how'd you end up in that field?
It's been a long road, my friend. Yeah, after art school, I was actually an art teacher for a couple of years, but here in Texas, that's not very valued. So I was basically like in poverty the whole time. I had a friend at a tech company tell me I should apply, so I started doing customer support at this tech company, making more money than a teacher doing customer support. And I mean, I've always been a computer nerd, so I kind of like learned how to code for a few years and did shit for the dev team, and now I'm part of the dev team. So that was my beginning into coding. So like I just kind of went into the with the mindset of like, oh, it's just like MySpace. Like, everything's like MySpace. Yeah, but there's an emotional part of like being a software developer where like you puff up yourself with this like false sense of confidence, but then you can't like solve like the simple little fucking riddle that won't let you do your job, and then you just have like imposter syndrome for like an entire week until you fix it. It's crazy. It's a roller coaster ride, but at least I don't have to talk to customers.
And that's what's really important here.
Absolutely.
To everybody who's listening, if you're still working customer support, you too can live the dream.
It's a hard life. I mean, but then like you get out of it, and then you're like riffraff, like act like you don't know nobody anymore, right? You know, talk to your old teammates. Oh, they're in support. I don't talk to them. There's that problem though. I have to have solidarity with my comrades.
Yeah.
You know, everybody else is like, yeah, I don't know. I feel like in office jobs, there's an inherent classicism in the roles that people play.
Oh, totally.
And the people that work the hardest absolutely do not make the most money. You know.
No. People who are working the shittiest jobs are definitely not making the most.
Yeah. Yeah. You ever wash dishes for a living? Fuck that. That dude should make $30 an hour. I'm just fucking playing on MySpace, you know?
the one thing I'm glad about is like growing up when we did a lot of the stuff that we probably got into, like, is just gone.
Yeah.
It might be archived somewhere, but chances of finding it is a lot lower these days.
Yeah. I'm sure there's like some archived version of like stickdeath.com.
Oh, probably.
Yeah.
I was looking up what was it? This old file sharing site called Tindeck. All of my music's on there. It's
Nice.
backed up. But I have no way to really access it because that site used to run on Flash, and Flash is fucking dead.
Yeah. R.I.P. Flash. Yeah. But like vintage internet was such a vibe, though. I mean, we don't have that vibe anymore.
No.
You know, you would log into AOL and you would like read the news on their like little walled garden. You know.
Yeah.
Once it broke out of that, it's just fucking no holds barred. You know.
And now it's like there's 3 sites on the internet, and they're all owned by like one guy.
It's crazy. Fuck that guy.
Yeah. Have you ever when was the last time you went just like searching around the internet for just like random stuff?
Off Google?
Off
Never.
Google.
See, all of my developer comrades use DuckDuckGo. But I'm just like too normie for that shit. Like I've given up in life. I have a Google phone. You know what I mean? I don't fucking care. I refuse to rat race fucking smartphones. Like they've gotten so good that I will buy the $120 one and I don't care. Dude, and the fucking batteries like last for 3 days without a charge.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah. All I want to do is check Facebook when I'm taking a dump, you know?
You don't want to shoot a film on your phone?
No.
Listen, I'll take some footage with my new phone. You're gonna be sitting there. You'll be like, "Wow, it's so cinematic."
Yeah, like we're Facebook friends. Just take note the next time I like upload a picture on Facebook, like how shitty it is. It's like the worst camera ever.
Oh,
Well, I like the broken digital aesthetic. We were actually working on a music video last week and recording it in my house.
I think I saw part of that actually.
Yeah, well, my plan was to use this this digital glitching technique called data moshing. Are you familiar with that? You may have seen it if you're not familiar with the term. It's like when like the frame freezes and then like the motion still goes and it like freaks the fuck out. But all the footage came out too good and I felt bad ruining it. So it's just a normal music video. We'll have to do a really shitty one and then data mosh that one.
Yeah. Maybe I'll send you my fucking busted ass phone. You can shoot
There
it
we
on
go.
that.
We'll do a multicam in the garage during a practice. But that's basically we did like such a it was a low budget video, but at the same time, my new bass player is a photographer, so he's got like a gimbal for his camera and stuff. So we just like had the drummer play the song, and he did all the shit with the gimbal. But when it was like his turn to play bass, the drummer just filmed the bass player. But it came out great. We filled the room up with like we covered all the walls with like garbage bags. And we filled the room up with smoke, and we used these like fancy LED lights that my photographer bass player has. I threw a 90s MTV title card on it.
Oh fuck yeah!
You know how they always had the title of the song in the corner?
Yeah.
Yeah, I did that. No MTV logos though. I was thinking about throwing like a 120 minutes logo in the corner because that was like my shit in the 90s, but I opted out.
I mean, it would be an aesthetic.
It would be cool to have Matt Pinfield personally send me a cease and desist order. But
Maybe we can hook that up.
hit him up on Twitter.
Matt, would you mind doing this?
Would you mind telling me to stop? Yeah, I've actually like only recently started using Twitter.
Oh,
It's
really?
weird, man. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a hellscape.
Well, Facebook was enough for me, but these marketing people I'm working with this guy Matt Bacon from Dropout Media, and he's like really like helping me like focus on like spreading the gospel of my fucking band, which I'm apparently bad at.
I mean, you are talking to me.
I got some podcasts lined up, but Twitter, man, it's a hellscape. But in Japan, yeah, I started the Twitter in Japan because everybody in Japan uses Twitter. And Line, they talk through Line, which is weird. But yeah, so I have like a bunch of Japanese friends on Twitter, and but yeah, I've just been like adding a bunch of people on Twitter. I feel so phony, just like adding all, I don't know, whatever. I hate it. I'm such an introvert that I feel like God, another social media outlet. You know?
And then we're gonna have to get you on Reddit.
Oh yeah, I've been on Reddit. I've been lurking on Reddit. No, Reddit's been a good tool. I mean, when we put out a new tape, I posted on like the tape collector subreddit. Like, oh man, it feels cool to have my new record on tape. And like, 8 to 10 people bought tapes. It was dope. So
awesome.
I'm not gonna shit on Reddit, even though there are some like dirty assholes of Reddit, like the conservative ones and whatever. But
yeah, there's certainly a dark side to Reddit.
I'll stay in awe.
I mean, it's funny how there's Reddits on there that are just so specific to like one individual thing. You're just like,
oh yeah, I love it.
You want to join
ultra specific.
You want to join the seedless watermelon subreddit?
Dude, Weird Eggs is one of my favorite subreddits.
I haven't seen that one.
People posting like the weird ass eggs their chickens lay. Like, what's up with this weird egg? Submechanophobia is a good one. Like fear of underwater machinery.
Oh.
Yeah, it's a great subreddit.
Oh yeah. I think I've seen some of those photos. A lot of them look really cool,
Yeah, super doomy. Like Doom album covers.
The next ISIS album, you're like, oh. You've already done an album about water, guys. Come on, let's move past it.
Dude, Oceanic, that record changed my shit when I was a kid, man. I guess I wasn't a kid, but in my early 20s. Fuck. Goddamn. I remember putting that on in like the CD player, like driving home and just like being completely enthralled. Quite the record. I need to revisit that. That's in my CD collection. I need to revisit that one.
Is there anything that you've found recently in your CD collection that you've been like, this is garbage?
It's just garbage. No. I have great taste.
Come on, just make something up. Let's go.
I have no shame though, but I'm like, dude, I'm in my like mid-30s. Why should I feel shameful about things? I love Hall & Oates. I love yacht rock. I love garbage, dude.
Where do you stand on Steely Dan?
Love Steely Dan. Are you kidding? Great stuff. Masterful.
You
Christopher Cross. He's a local boy of ours. He's from San Antonio. Yep. Great stuff.
Do you know Megan from Couch Slut?
No, I don't know them. I love their band though.
If you ever get a chance to talk to Megan, she's a big Steely Dan fan. Just a little tip from me to you.
Yeah, and be a great icebreaker.
No,
when I see her at the show.
The only reason why I know is like we were on a chat. She was like, I was talking about my ex who also loves Steely Dan. And she was like, hold on a minute. And she shows me her Steely Dan pants.
Dope. That's great. Are you familiar? Sorry, I guess I'm a weeb now, but are you familiar with the Japanese genre of city pop?
No.
It's like an 80s subgenre, and it was like, yuppie scum kind of music. But it made a resurgence because of YouTube algorithms.
That's amazing.
And I went on a huge city pop binge a couple years ago. It's great stuff, I guess you would kind of like almost like disco-y, like Donna Summer-y kind of stuff, but more like 80s, like drum machines and stuff. Yeah, well, there's this one song in particular that kind of, I think, set the whole city pop resurgence aflame. It's called Plastic Love. That's a great way to start. By Maria Takeuchi. Yeah, great song. And it's a banger too. You put that on, you're gonna want to dance and feel sad at the same time.
That sounds like a Japanese breakfast. There's a recommendation for you: Japanese breakfast.
Love it. Japanese breakfast is disgusting, by the way. They eat natto. No, thank you. It's like fermented soybeans. It looked like somebody like came all over beans. It's fucking awful.
Did you find any really good regional snacks while you were in Japan?
Oh, dude, so much. They have these discount stores called Don Quixote, and they're like 3 or 4 floors, and it's kind of like a dollar store or a Big Lots, but everything's just like squished together, and they have just like tons of everything. So we would just go in there and just like buy a bunch of random shit. My favorite thing, I'm not much of an alcohol drinker, but they have this stuff called Chuhai, which is like highly alcoholic, like lemonade drinks, and they make some that like taste like Pocky and shit, so they're strawberry flavored. But like 2 cans of Chuhai will get you like fucked up. 'Cause they have like a 15% alcohol content or something like crazy like that.
Damn, son.
And you can even get them in like vending machines on the side of the street and stuff. So Chuhai is dope. All types of great stuff to eat though.
I was actually going to ask about the vending machines because that's something that I just remembered.
Yeah.
I think it was my cousin was telling me about how you can get alcohol out of the vending machines, but the coin slot is just like really high up. So if you're a little kid, if you're
I mean, your friend could give you a boost or something. The security is pretty lax on those things. Yeah, that shit's like readily available everywhere. Even like cigarettes and vending machines and stuff. Yeah, well, it's like, I don't know. I'm from Texas, where it's just like, fuck you, I got mine. Like, everybody has that attitude. It's just so different over there, man. It's just like so clean. Like, there's like no garbage anywhere, but there's also like no garbage cans anywhere. People just like don't throw their shit on the fucking ground, you know? I think there's a sense of mutual respect or like societal obligation that we don't have here in the States.
I think it's number 2. So, Pinko, you guys are good buddies with Pinko, yeah?
Yeah, Jared, the bass player in Pinko, used to play in Grasshopper. He came with us on several tours. We're great friends. And Guillermo, the main guy from Pinko, the singer, we toured with his band Sons, God, way back in like 2009, and we did a split with Sons back then. So yeah, we have a long history with the Pinko guys, and they're bros to us. Yeah, we love them. Personally, love them.
I think more people should love them.
Yeah, they're a force to be reckoned with. It was cool seeing their evolution because Guillermo, their main guy, he used to just be a frontman singer in the old band Sons. And everybody just thought he was just the fucking wild man. He was the Iggy Pop. He would be the dude hanging from the ceiling at gigs and like getting kicked out of the venue in Birmingham. True story. But yeah, he got a fucking Telecaster and started banging that thing all wrong. And he made all these songs that were all fucked up and angular and wrong. Pinko's a fucking force of nature, man. I love them. And then, their drummer, Luke, he went on his first tour ever with Pinko, which was cool because when Jared, their bass player, joined Grasshopper, he had never been on any tour or anything, but he joined to tour with us. So like 2 weeks into doing his like first or second real gig, he was on tour with us for like 2 weeks straight.
Damn.
And then he did a ton of tours with us. He couldn't afford to do a couple Grasshopper tours, so he stepped down. Like he couldn't afford to do the Japan thing, so he stepped down. We still love him or whatever, but he took all that experience he learned with us and then put it in Pinko. And now Luke, those were his first tours, and now he's a tour maniac too. I love seeing like the younger generation of like fucking rocker dudes coming up.
Yeah, it's great. There's like some phenomenal music coming out in the past few years. I want to say like the past 5 years. It's been absolutely crazy, the quality of records that have been coming out. I'm just always impressed with what I'm finding.
And locally in my scene, I do see I do have concerns about like heavy music coming from younger kids. Like there's not like any like early 20s bands like blowing my mind locally, and that's always a worry, but I don't know, especially with all the stuff going on in America. I assume there's some like real pissed off teenagers right now that need to get some like angry punk rock out. I want that to happen.
I think in some regards I've seen a lot of kids in their 20s are playing like post-punk right now.
Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, it's really weird, and the whole like Joy Division vibe is huge. With
It's
a lot
like
of
nostalgia for an era they didn't even see.
yeah, or have like very little connection to.
Yeah, that's interesting. Well, I mean, there are tons of great post-punk bands. I mean, like Place to Bury Strangers, bands like that. So, I mean, they're great contemporary bands to listen to that aren't just Joy Division. So, maybe that's part of the vehicle.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's
Yeah.
it's kind of like how psychedelic music was a big thing a few years ago, and now
Yeah.
everybody moved on to other shit.
They're still hanging on to it in Austin.
Oh, are they?
Oh yeah, well they had a big psych fest up there. They rebranded it to Levitation, but
Okay.
it's still like heavily psychedelic based.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because
I mean,
no, sorry.
I think they had Power Trip play last year too. But then there was also like Acid Mother's Temple.
Because that's one thing Steve was saying when I talked to him. He was saying how like the Austin scene is kind of dominated by, he said indie rock, and I was like, I mean, well, the last time I was kind of paying attention to what was happening in Austin, like Levitation was huge down there,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
admittedly that was like 5 years ago, but
Yeah, I went to several of those Levitations and they were like incredible. I mean, bands like Boris played, you know, and Boris are like gods to me. So, I mean, it wasn't just like pothead loser shit, you know. There was a lot of cool stuff going on at those festivals. But yeah, I mean, indie rock's a problem everywhere, I guess. pissed off younger people. I need to see more of that, you know.
I think we're about to see that. Pop punk's making a resurgence right now, right? We got
Well,
Willow Smith, Machine Gun Kelly.
yeah.
People are gonna, make a comment. Willow Smith isn't pop punk, but I'm gonna say Willow Smith doing pop punk. So we got Will Smith, we got Machine Gun Kelly, Travis Barker on all of them, by the way.
Look, I'm just, I'm looking forward to the future of the Lindas. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah,
There's these pissed off little girls. Like, okay, their dad's like a Grammy award winning producer, whatever. But if it gets like little kids fucking picking up guitars and like letting their fucking feelings out that way, I'm all for it, man.
oh, I'm seeing like 90s resurgence coming back any day now. It'll happen.
I'm waiting for that new metal resurgence, dude.
Oh, that's already happening.
Jinkos and shit. So somebody's gonna shit on me for saying this, but that band Chat Pile, I love Chat Pile and respect them a lot. They kind of remind me of Korn, but in like a tight way. I'm just gonna leave it at that. Go listen to Chat Pile, and if it sound like Korn to you, like please tell me, because I've said that a couple times and like everybody just ignores the comment. Like nobody's gonna touch that.
I think part of the reason why Chat Pile might get that vibe is because of there's a certain like note pattern that Korn did. Where they played the low 7 string,
Yeah.
and they kind of made that like really low sound their own.
I think it's also like the unhinged singer that's like almost about to have an anxiety attack kind of sound, you know?
We need more crying in the microphone, folks.
Yeah. Ross Robinson doing the next Chad Pile record.
Oh, that'd be phenomenal, actually.
I really hope I don't offend those guys. Hey, what's up with Ross Robinson? Fucking, I should hit that dude up. I
Yeah.
bet his rates are crazy.
Oh, totally. I don't even know how much it would cost to work with him. But I think he is at the point in his career where he'll just do whatever.
Yeah, it's all Pro Tools. He's send me the MP3s, I'll fix it. Yeah, I kind of went down a rabbit hole the other day looking at like famous producer rates.
Yeah.
Because I watched that video of Sylvia Massey running the Buzz's guitar through a pickle. Have you seen that?
No.
Sylvia Massey, she's a famous producer. She
Yeah.
got famous because she recorded like Tool's Undertow. But Buzz from the Melvins was in the studio with her, and he ran the speaker out of a solid state amp through a pickle and then into the speakers. And like the bass player was playing through it, and like the pickle was like glowing because of all the electricity going through it. But yeah, anyways, going back to I was looking up her rates just for fun, and it's like $1,200 to $3,000 a song, but then it's also $1,200 a day, and that doesn't include the facilities. Ooh. So fuck, you're looking at least like 15 grand for a quick record, you know? God damn, lady. I mean, she seems like the coolest like mom ever.
Yeah.
Like I want her to be my mom, but like I'm not gonna pay those rates. I'm sorry. I'm gonna record in my garage.
Maybe we'll get if the next record does well, we'll see about getting you some of that relapse money.
Get that relapse money. Call Sylvia.
Honestly, unfortunately, the best name producer we're going to be looking at for Grasshopper is probably Steve Albini, and that's going to be like 20 grand right there, easy.
Is it?
Oh yeah, he's got a calculator on his site.
Yeah, I heard for a long time electrical audio was basically kind of like running like right on the line, like they weren't really making money because his rates weren't high enough, I guess.
I don't even know.
Yeah.
I had not heard anything about that, but I know that it's like it's pretty, you're looking at like 20 grand to do a record with Steve Albini.
But the thing I think about like immediately is like the pressure. Like, dude, he has to hear me play that shitty fucking guitar take 40 times. Like, nah, dude. Like, that brings me great shame. Like, I'm going to do that in my garage and play it 70 times because nobody's around to like make me feel like a bad musician. But recording at home is cool. I mean, we've gone up to Austin and done a pretty decent studio. The Wonder Chamber. This dude Brian Beatty owns it. He did a bunch of like the Dead Milkman records, I think. Yeah, it was cool, but it was also like expensive, and I felt like, oh man, it's like 6 p.m. and like if we get another day, it's like several $100s, and I got to do this take fucking 12 times because I suck at guitar. The pressure sucks. And we live in a great time where you can like make a record on your fucking flip phone.
Yeah.
So I'm not good at mixing. I will give it to somebody else to mix because I know my limitations. I know how to like stick a mic in front of a speaker box, but I'm not a sound engineer. I'll let somebody else do the hard stuff.
The last single you dropped sounds phenomenal.
Yeah, that was recorded in the garage. But yeah, Ollie, our engineer in Minneapolis, again, shout out to him. He runs Ecstatic Studio up there. He's incredible engineer, and he found our sound easily, So yeah, he knows how to do heavy.
Oh, that's fantastic. Before I let you go for the evening, you have anything else you want to shout out?
Yeah, I'd like to shout out the haters, man. Fuck y'all. Honestly, just go fuck yourselves. No, I don't know. Thank you, man. This has been a delight. It's cool to talk to somebody on the other side of the fucking continent. And Learning Curve Records is putting our new album out. We love them. Check them out and support them. They do a ton of great noise rock bands. We're probably their most metal band, but they've got they've done a bunch of great stuff. Hammerhead and Vaz, Gay Witch Abortion. Support Learning Curve. And yeah, I mean, check out our single. We're about to drop another one too, so add us on fucking Twitter.
That's phenomenal. All right. Well, thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you,
Once again, that has been James from the Grasshopper Lies Heavy. for those of you who have stuck around, I'd like to thank you all very much for tuning in today. And like I said at the beginning of the show, I've got a real special giveaway for you today. I will be today giving away a tape bundle from Knife Hits Records featuring a smorgasbord of fantastic artists. And you might be saying to yourself, but Aaron, I don't listen to tapes. And to you, I say, listen, just don't enter if you don't want to. There will be something else coming in the future. Something else, maybe a vinyl, maybe a CD giveaway, maybe a digital. But, just let the tape people have this one. All right. If you would like to enter, all you have to do is send an email to metameatball@gmail.com. Once again, that is metameatball@gmail.com. And tell me in about 250 words or less your favorite summer vacation memory. And if you haven't had a favorite summer vacation, don't worry. You can just make something up. Just lie. And when I go through all of the memories, everything that gets sent in, I'll go through them. I'll read my favorite ones out, and I'll pick a winner from there. I'll narrow it down, maybe top 1 or 2, top 3, top 5, whatever I feel like, and I will pick out my favorite one, and that person will be the winner, and you'll get a tape bundle from Knife Hits Records. That's pretty much it. So, once again, 250 words on your favorite vacation memory. If you haven't had a favorite vacation, just make something up. Because it's not like I'm going to know. I mean, I might ask you questions about it if it's weird enough. Yeah, so if you want to enter, please, once again, send me your favorite summer vacation memories to metameatball@gmail.com. Once again, I'd like to thank you all very much for tuning in today. And just remember, the cloud people are watching.